whether you are investing into crypto, whether you're investing into your children's future, cash flow hacking is the actionable way to describe a solution to a problem. How easy are relationships? Some are a lot easier than others.
Yeah.
So think about hacking that. We have a hack for that. Very easy, control, liquidity. And it's only been effective for about, say, the last 150 years. So we're not really creating anything new. We're just actioning something that's already been done by people smarter than us for a very long time.
But what people do want is they want cash flow. They want freedom. They want to be involved in real estate for all it offers. So what I know to be sexy. True, totally. And what I know to be true is that whole life, a properly designed whole life policy simply amplifies your ability to do what you want to do with real estate, period. If you're going to be a real estate investor and you want to do it the 100% most maximally efficient, optimized way, you have to bring whole life insurance into the equation. If you don't, can you be successful still? Sure. Will you be as successful? No. Hey everybody, it's Chris with Life 180, and I am here with Cole Snell from Lifetech, my Canadian friend, and we got some exciting stuff to talk about today. Bringing Cole on this, you've probably seen him before. We've done a couple videos on infinite banking, on child millionaire stuff, which is one of the tools that his company Lifetech offers. And it's an amazing thing. If you haven't checked that out, go check that video out. And I know he's got more content that he's going to be bringing to the table here. But I wanted to bring Cole on board on a video to kind of introduce him more formally to everybody, because here's the deal. Life 180, you probably noticed well, Cole, so I'll say this, I'm going to have this conversation with you, Cole. So I've done a lot, like over the past maybe 6 or 7 months, all my videos, I hit this point where I was like, I was really kind of ticked off at the world of Index Universal Life, ticked off at the way people were marketing it, ticked off at like PHP and WFG and their models and the products that they sell and like all this stuff. And I went through this phase of being like fired up about that and feeling like, okay, there was nobody else that had my background and knowledge and expertise and platform that was going to get out there and say what needed to be said. So I said, I'm going to take it on. I'm going to just do it. Right. And you and I have talked about this offline. But I've probably made 60 videos on all that content, anti-IUL or IUL education, or like PHP, WFG, compensation plans, recruiting, moral hazards, all these different things. And so the challenge is, like, I feel like a lot of people who have subscribed over the past 6 months, that's all they see is like the bad, right? They see me like, man, Chris is really aggressive, right? Like Chris, like and the reality is I'm pretty easygoing guy, like, but I like to get things done. What I'm really excited about though is more than talking about what the problem is with IUL, with all those things, is talking about what the solution is, being able to provide solutions to people. And in that, I'll tell everybody here just some analytics on the channel. About 12.5% of our audience currently is Canadian. That just goes to show me that a lot of you Canadians up there are seeking knowledge and information, and Cole has been doing some great things. There's some great people up there that Cole works with that are doing awesome things. But you obviously found my channel and some of the content, it's resonating with you. And so one of the things that I want to make sure that we're doing is any content that we're creating is serving people. And I think the thing that I'm really excited to do, there's 2 components here. I'm going to have Cole talk about it a little bit, but he's got his company called Lifetech. That is, if you're a life insurance agent, if you're a life insurance advisor, or if you're somebody who's looking at potentially navigating the conversation around potentially utilizing life insurance as an asset in your life, these Lifetech tools are going to be extremely beneficial for you to get more clarity on how it impacts or would fit potentially into your life. On top of that, Cole is an advisor and has a team of people in Canada. And so we're going to be branching out and basically starting Life 180 Canada through Cole, through his team. I'm really excited about it. And with that, without further ado, I'm going to bring you Cole right here, who you've probably been looking at his pretty mug the whole time.
I've always wanted to, you know how you start your video. I was like your fan, truth be told, I was your fan before I was your friend. And that's like, we actually met through this fantastic channel. It was just a matter of me. You were doing a Dave Ramsey, one of your aggressive let's talk, let's fight fire with fire. Let's fight the problem with the problem.
Sure.
Anti Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey doesn't know anything about life insurance. I'm like, I love this guy.
And I think you could probably save 3/4 of a point. I mean, I'm seeing quotes. I don't know if you can get on a mortgage this small or not.
Kind of crazy to me because Dave is giving financial advice. If you were a life insurance agent and you sat down with somebody and you were coaching them on liquidating investments to pay off a mortgage, you would potentially lose your license.
So I started messaging you. You blew me away because you were speaking live, YouTube live, dropping science, and somehow messaging me at the same time. I'm like, I love it. So this is what I wanted to do, because you always start out your videos with, hey, this is Chris from Life 180. Right? I was like, hey, this is Cole from Life 180.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. Well, here we go. That
feels awesome. Hey, this is Cole from Life 180.
So this, you know what, man, it's awesome. I'm so excited to have you here as a partner, doing this. And for everybody this is going to be kind of the formal launch. This video, if you've been following the channel, this video you're watching right now is a tipping point. It's a pivot point, I'm going to tell you 8 years in the making, of a vision that I've personally had, that I've wanted this to turn into, that quite frankly, I just haven't been able to do because of not having the right people. I have some amazing people, in my life, in the industry, that I connect with, like Caleb Williams is amazing, like at Better Wealth, and amazing relationship with him. But Caleb has his brand and he does his thing, and they do it their way, and their way is amazing. And we're still going to continue to work with them in a lot of ways as well. But the opportunity to work with Cole and his company, Lifetech, that he'll talk about, with the tools and that can benefit consumers and benefit agents. And I think that's a win-win-win scenario for everybody. I think being able to really serve people in Canada who've been reaching out, who are like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to work with you, Chris. I want to work with your team, but I don't know how to do that. I think this is going to give you a clear path on how to do it. But I think more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but it kind of to put the icing on the cake, you don't know about this. Maybe the last couple of videos you've seen, I've addressed people as, hey, Cashflow Hackers. That is a big focus of things moving forward. Cole and I are co-authoring a book right now. We actually just got off a call with one of the designers for the book called Cashflow Hacking, and we're creating a Cashflow Hacking challenge. All that's going to be stood up, I'm going to tell you, the end of November. Because that's what we're pushing for. I know that's a really aggressive time frame for what
it's going to happen,
but I think it's going to happen, right?
It's going to happen.
And so we're putting this video to kind of like let everybody know what's going on, how we can serve individuals, kind of the shift that the channel is making in really serving agents on the tool side, on the marketing side, on the sales side, on the education for product side, which we've been doing, but just really cleaning up all that messaging around like how we actually serve those people. And then also now, if you're a consumer, if you are looking to come on board or looking to potentially utilize whole life insurance as an asset, if you have questions about, your index universal life policy versus a whole life policy versus, anything else you have going on, or you want to get involved with this whole concept around cash flow investing that we talk about all the time, it got to the point where I got sick of beating my head against the wall constantly, being like, people trying to tell me that IULs are better because they have so much more upside potential. And I got sick of trying to like convince people that the upside potential conversation is a broken like method, right? Like, and for how many reasons it is, that people just either get it or they don't. But the people that don't get it, the reason they couldn't get it is because they couldn't see past whole life has a 4% guarantee. Why the heck would I even focus on that, right? Like, why would I put my money in there? And it's because you don't get your returns inside of a whole life policy. You get your returns elsewhere. So we're going to get into that. But before I keep ranting and rambling and doing what I do, I want Cole, do me a favor. Give people a little bit of your background. Talk about Lifetech and talk about how excited you are about this cash flow hacking concept that we're launching and why.
Awesome. Absolutely. So I spent about 25 years as a founder in the food space before I got into the financial industry.
Nice.
I always thought that the food industry was the lowest common denominator. Value is a two-way street. As a founder, so I'm not so much a CEO, more of a founder. Mm-hmm. CEOs have a unique skill set that I don't necessarily have. Founders have the ability to kind of drive innovation and get a good idea into a great idea if it was kind of made to be. I thought the best idea in the world was adding value to the food industry, and I managed to do it. I had a very successful career. I often believe that the lowest common denominator in life was food, because if you don't eat food, you die. I kind of realized very quickly that outside of salt, sour, sweet, savory, and bitter deliciousness, the food industry was not really the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator was the financial industry, because people aren't out there foraging for their food. They're not growing their food. They're buying it, and they need money to buy it. And I thought, well, I should really be pivoting as a founder. If I want to add value, true value, am I serving people, North Americans? And my companies were North American-wide, continental, much like Lifetech is a continental company. We serve more Americans than we do Canadians. Mm-hmm. Am I adding the most amount of value? And as a founder, am I pointing my energy in the right direction, adding value to food when you need money to buy it? Well, obviously not. So then I pivoted to the financial industry, started to watch your content, started to find out, what is the problem? 47% of North Americans are $200 away or less from insolvency. Yeah, I mean, this was an absolute dream come true to me. It's a catastrophic stat, but it's a dream come true to someone like myself, because now I can add value. That's an easy thing to add value to. Then I needed to find the product. Yeah. Okay, whole life insurance took me a year or so to figure it out. I had to go through who, why, where, what, how. It's too good to be true. Why are more people not doing it? Yeah. What happens when the IRS or the CRA catch up to it, and the Fed try and shut it down? I got over all those questions, and and here I am partnering up with you, looking at whole life insurance. What's the evolution? How do we build the 10%? How do we make it a household conversation? How do we serve advisors? Yeah. And the passion, the solution, here we are. And we're going to do some amazing thing. So Lifetech was built out of the need to serve the lowest common denominator, offer the highest point of value to the people that need it most, which are financial advisors. I mean, financial advisors need to show up different. You can't sit down with clients anymore and confuse the mind. Confusing the mind and selling from spreadsheets is archaic. It's done. It's over. A confused mind says one thing. It says no, people run and go. Financial literacy is a horse that's been beaten to death. It's got to be about stewardship. It's got to be about generational behavior. Why do you do it? Because my parents did it. How many examples in your life do you have like that? Why do you do it? Because your parents did it, right? Yep. It just goes and goes and goes. So that's what we created Lifetech. That's why Lifetech is partnering with Life 180. And really the evolution of it all is a place for advisors to plug in from technology, tools to show up different, to not sell from spreadsheets. The solution to the problem is whole life insurance. Won't go into why that is on this rant.
Plenty more videos on that, believe me.
Plenty more videos on that. And then the cherry in the sundae is Cashflow Hacking. Yeah. Cashflow Hacking is the ultimate anecdote. It's the ultimate actionable, infinite banking, whole life insurance solve. And that's what Chris and I are going to unpack. We're going to 100x this channel. First off, it's going to be easy to do. Yeah. We know that, and we're going to do it through the lens of Cashflow Hacking. How did I do? Are you going to keep me on? Is that,
dude? You're doing great. You just keep going. I'm just going to sit here and listen. You take over. You're good.
So all full credit to Chris. He called me up one day. He was at about 3 weeks ago or so. He called me up and he said, he was at a conference at I think a ClickFunnels conference, and Tony Robbins and all the guys were there, and he said, texted me, he goes, hey, I just bought this domain. This is what we're doing. We've been looking for an excuse to partner together and connect. And he literally was at this conference. He was fired up. I get fired up when people like Chris are they're one percenters, like they get stuff done. So who do I want to hang out with? Well, I want to hang out with, like begets like. I want to hang out with people that get stuff done. He goes, Cashflow Hacking is the way to serve a specific solution, real estate investors, anecdotally, whether you are investing into crypto, whether you're investing into your children's future. Cashflow Hacking is the actionable way to describe a solution to a problem.
Totally. It's, it was amazing to me. I remember sitting in the conference and I was like, I got hit with this epiphany, like, because if you don't know ClickFunnels, ClickFunnels is all about funnel hacking. To be able to build an online sales process, you got to go find people who've done it. You don't want to copy them, but you want to take the processes that they've done that have succeeded and that have led to that success and emulate it and then make it your own. And that's a process of hacking. If you want to be a biohacker, you want to be healthier, you got to go find the people who are, biophysiologically healthy and figure out what they do, hack that process and do it. So this idea of funnel hacking, I was like, I wonder, like, we always talk about cash flow as this like important kind of like unicorn of attainable, desirable, like goal that people want to achieve. And that cash flow investing is so much more important than accumulation investing or putting money into qualified accounts, kicking can down the road, or like not having access or control of your money until you're 59 and a half or older. And, that conversation, if people think about it, it doesn't make sense. It's like, and I've said this a couple of times in my recent videos, is your brain is only going to allow you to put 100% of effort into something that you believe with 100% certainty you're going to succeed at. If you don't have that belief, you're never going to give everything that you have to it. And when you look at the statistics of Americans, I can't speak to Canadians. My guess is the statistics are very, very similar.
Very similar.
95 to 97% of Americans right now are either behind or reaching retirement, and having to reduce their standard of living, or hitting that age that they thought they'd be able to retire and they have to keep working. I was at a restaurant. I actually went to I shouldn't admit this out loud, but I went to an In-N-Out burger the other day, and so good. It was so
delicious.
Good. It's like my guilty pleasure, I guess. But
totally.
So I went to an In-N-Out burger, and I'm walking, and there was like an 80-year-old guy working there, and I'm just like, wow, like that's really sad. God, I can't imagine having to work at In-N-Out burger when I'm 80 now. God bless him for having the health, and he's still working. I mean, he probably could take advantage of the system to a certain extent, and he's obviously got the character to go to work and do that and show up.
Good for him, but I'm assuming he's not doing that because it's a hobby.
Oh, totally. Like, I hope that's the case. I didn't ask him. It was pretty busy, but I saw that, and it just got to realize, like, the idea of cash flow hacking is thinking about how do we replace our monthly income needs, right? Our monthly expenses and lifestyle needs. How do we build up enough passive cash flow to handle that? And then it literally hit me in like a 2-minute period. I was like, we have Cole over here who can do this stuff with Lifetech and all the tools and solutions, and we can create some cool calculators, and we can do like all these different things from a point of sale perspective. I've got my design team with my agency and all that stuff going on in the marketing side. We can do that for these people. And then I was like, like 8 years ago, I met this guy named Mike Wolf, who's been a turnkey real estate investor. And I think about some of my most popular videos that I've done on YouTube and some of the best feedback that I've gotten from some people. And it's all been about, hey, you mentioned that you could find cash flow real estate that cash flows positively month one. Tell me more about that. And I was like, not only can you cash flow month one, but you don't have to manage it. You don't have to be a landlord. You own the deed and the property, and you have a management company. After all property management expenses, it's cash flowing positively. And I have access to this whole program. And so I called Mike up and I was like, hey, what do you think about taking everything you've been doing for 30 years and rolling it into a program called Cashflow Hacking? And let's do a live event, because one of the biggest issues with people investing in turnkey real estate is it's one of the biggest mistakes people make with real estate is they feel like they have to invest in their backyard, because with real estate, it's like, if I can't see it, touch it, feel it, be there, like I don't trust it, right? Like, because I don't know the neighborhoods in another big city. I don't know, like what I'm getting involved with. And so Mike agreed, we don't have a date yet, but Mike agreed to run Cashflow Hacking live, an event with us. We're going to be doing a live event as part of the whole program once we launch, and we'll give you more information on that as it comes. We're either going to do it in Atlanta or Orlando, and we're like, it's going to be this amazing thing. And Mike has personally helped people do over 1,000 properties for Cashflow properties. Like
That's right.
It is a legit proven out, tested model.
Yeah.
We've been through it, seen it. And so it just, all this hit me and I was like, Cashflow hacking is the way. And I looked it up in the domain. To my amazement, it literally almost made me cry. Like, no joke. Like, it was like,
it's so brilliant that, targeting, what is the first thing that Cashflow hacking is going to hack?
Yeah.
Real estate investing.
Yeah.
Think about from the very basic level of trying, especially in this day and age, to be a first-time homeowner, to the ultimate dream that everyone relates to, which is to having multiple doors under management, having multiple properties, having multiple mortgages, multiple tenants, and having this this very scaled out real estate holding company.
Yep.
How real is that for people? We can take the first-time home buyer and all the way up to the person that has 5, 6, 7, 10 doors, 10 different properties. Now, what happens to that person? And if you are that type of person, if you're watching this, or somebody that's watching this very specifically that has 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 doors, 5 properties somewhere in there, ask them a question. Ask them, hey, have you hit your ceiling? Have you gotten to a certain point with your cash flow, with your control, with your liquidity in your investments where you're at a point where you can't scale, you can't grow anymore? There's a ceiling, that there's like a concussion like ceiling that real estate investors hit at that 5 to 10 door number that has serious symptoms, has serious side effects. So the first thing we're going to hack is we're going to hack that. We're going to define, now, do you have to pause? Do you have to take a step back? And how can you actually move forward without bringing on private equity, without giving up control and bringing on partners? Because we all know, and we've all had partners, we've all had relationships. Hey, anyone watching this, how easy are relationships? Some are a lot easier than others. So think about hacking that. We have a hack for that. Very easy, control, liquidity. And it's only been effective for about, say, the last 150 years. So we're not really creating anything new. We're just actioning something that's already been done by people smarter than us for a very long time.
Yep. Yeah. And to me, that's the exciting part, is it literally is just a better way to communicate what I've been trying to get people to see. And if I have, like, the most frustrating part of my life, quite frankly, legitimately, is the fact that every time I try to talk to people about how whole life is better than IUL, and they go, "Oh, I don't see it. I don't get it." Well, it's because they don't get the concept of the importance of cash flow investing. And when you see this and when you get it, it, like, whole life insurance, Caleb did a great job. Caleb Williams, if you haven't read the book, The And Asset, you can go read it. It's an amazing book, phenomenal book. But the only problem with it is that people lack vision and creativity, right? And so the And Asset is basically saying, listen, whole life insurance is not a either or conversation. Most people in the past have always told us, like, either they think that they either have to buy a whole life insurance, or they have to buy an investment or a real estate property or stocks, bonds, whatever it is, right? Like, it's an either or conversation. And he was brilliant because he created this conversation. It's like, no, whole life is the ultimate and asset. You do this, you run your whole personal world financially through this asset. And then you get into all those other investments. Those are this is the and asset, right? And so ultimately, if you think in those terms, the real estate is just an and asset, but it's the ultimate and asset, right? Like, and people that want to start, if I know, here's what I do know to be true. Nobody wants to buy whole life insurance, right? Like, I mean, you and I have done this long enough and talked to enough people. Nobody sits here.
Would you want to invest?
Yeah, they don't want to, right? They don't, exactly. And so, but what people do want is they want cash flow. They want freedom. They want to be involved in real estate for all it offers. So what I know to be
sexy.
True, totally. And what I know to be true is that whole life, a properly designed whole life policy, simply amplifies your ability to do what you want to do with real estate, period. If you're going to be a real estate investor and you want to do it the 100% most maximally efficient, optimized way, you have to bring whole life insurance into the equation. If you don't, can you be successful still? Sure. Will you be as successful? No. And we're going to do more videos on it. I'm not going to make this a long kind of rant on that, but like, that is why I'm so excited about this. And so, at the end of the day, to kind of shut it down at the risk of like this video going on for 2 hours, because we could do it and probably will at some point in time. The bottom line is, you know, Lifetech, Life 180 Canada, Cole Snell, the whole team that we're doing. You're going to see Cole a lot more on videos. He's going to be doing videos alone, bringing a ton of value, coming on with guests. Cole and I are going to show up weekly together, is my guess. I'm not going to hold myself or hint to that, but we're going to try to show up as often together. Yeah, we'll do some stuff, a lot of stuff consistently together, because it's just fun to do. You know, and I'm excited to be able to serve. Like, I've had this vision of like wanting to really serve agents and people and Canadians and Americans, and like from as big of a spectrum as possible. And I was never really able to actualize that on, you know, and you know, God puts the right people in your life at the right time. And it's just the right time now. And it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, so if you have any questions, if you're an agent, if you're somebody who's thinking about a policy for yourself, if you're a real estate investor, if you're curious about any of that, make sure that you leave a comment down below. Cole is now attached to the channel, so he can see and engage with all comments. So that's really good. We've got a whole team now that's going to be, we're literally leveling everything up with the Life 180 channel here, just to go bring more value and serve you at a bigger level. If you have any conversations, any topics, any, you know, anything that you want help with as a consumer, any questions you want answered as an agent, as a consumer, as anything, bring it to the table, leave it. We will create videos for you. This channel, I believe that it's going to grow based on our ability to serve you and our ability to help solve problems for the people who are watching this content. And that's really all I care about is us showing up and being that organization on YouTube and being the place that people go to get those problems solved.
Beautiful. Well said. I love it, man. I'm honored to be here.
So
let's go serve.
Yeah,
let's make a difference.
So if you haven't already, I got to do this because it's the way I got to end every, like, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. That way you get notified, because like I said, get prepared for what's about to come. It's going to be amazing. So hit that bell. That way you get the notification every single time we launch a new video on your smartphone. Like the video, show Cole some love. If you love Cole, if you think he's a good looking dude, you know, like, it's weird for me, like getting on a video and like being the second best looking guy on camera. No, I'm just like,
I don't know. He's always doing that. I just say, keep it coming.
I know. Right.
I'll take it. My 48-year-old,
you got better hair than me, man. Like
I'll take it. I'll thank my mom for that.
It's awesome.
I'll take no credit for it.
I'm really excited about this, guys. So if you have any questions at all, reach out. There's going to be a link below to connect with Cole, to connect with me, somebody on the team at Life 180. We're here to serve. Reach out if you need anything. Have a blessed, inspirational day, and we'll see you on the next video.